these are just some tips for the Celestial Lily bracelet pattern, just in case you're not taking the class and might have some questions. This should help clear up a couple of things. Let me apologize, I'm on my back porch, so cars may drive by time to time. Okay, first off, this is the Celestial Lily. It features check glass petal beads that are curved, so we have to know the correct stringing direction to make it look encased inside the curved beads. We've got a limited quantity of our focal beads, so we want to space them out in a straight row, so we learn how to do that. We also, in this pattern, learn how to make a flat back, so that is very helpful when we're having a bracelet. This is one colorway, but I'm in the process of making different ones, and that's why there's different colored beads here. So when you have your pattern here, the pattern key diagram is here, and the letters are across from each other. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So you want to look here to see where A, B, C, all the way through F, and all the way where all your letters are in relationship to your disc. So if A is here on the top left, that means it's going to be on the top left here. Okay, I've got my disc all set up. I've got a nub end started. That means braiding without beads. And I also, when it's a counted pattern like this and every row has a different set, a pattern set, I like to label my clips just in case when I'm loading, if I am braiding and I find a mistake, then it's a lot easier to figure out where my mistake is if my cords are labeled, okay? Because imagine if they weren't labeled, you wouldn't know which cord it was after you started, and it would be much harder to figure out that mistake. You'd probably have to undo it completely and start over again, and that's very hard when it's such a complex pattern to follow. Okay, so I recommend with this pattern, since there's so many different, like every color you see here is like a different bead type, so and they're coded just to save space, because as you can see, every A through H, it's a different sequence of beads all the way down. So what I recommend here is to color code it. I have a key down here, and I would, you know, pick a color and then start going through and marking the different bead types. And what I did here was I marked the color, I made the color similar to the actual bead color in that example, so that helped me. But if you had like a purple petal bead, then you might want to make that bead purple on the list. That really helps. The second thing here that I want to explain is there are pattern repeats. So if you see a bracket with a that symbolizes to repeat this set of beads. So you know, when you're pattern load, what I call pattern loading, that means you're loading from pattern to disc, and you're starting, and you're going to do warp A, and you're going to load the beads on from top to bottom. Now here you have a bracket, so you're going to load 1, 2, 3, well actually you need to load 2 of that bead, 1 of that bead, 1 of that bead, 1 of that bead, 1 of that bead, and then that's where the bracket ends. So you're going to repeat it twice, so you go back to the top and you load that set of beads again, and then when you're done with that, then you go down, and then you find a bracketed bunch here again, so you're going to load these and then go back here, load it a second time, and then continue to the last bead. Okay, so every column that happens at least one, and that's just a space saver for me. The second thing here is you're gonna see some of these squares are shaded. That is just it helps me to, if it wasn't color coded, it helps me to not lose my place in the pattern when I'm reading. So that's why I did that, and it's the same bead type all the way through. So yes, definitely, I would definitely color code it. What else? Now, I wanted to show you, okay, the stringing direction of the petal beads. Okay, so here, what this means is, and now, curved beads can have the stringing hole either, let's see, And these curved beads have it, it's going like this. Wait, let me see. So these curved beads have it to where the hole is like this. Now, other curved beads have it going the other way, okay? But both of these curved beads have it going like this, and that is why we are able to make this, or have this look like it's encased, okay? Okay. So when I have, so we have, when I say small lily petal, that's the blue one, and large lily petal is the big purple one. When I say, so I have it LL and LP, and then the other string direction is they have different ones. The small lily petal is symbolized by a DL, and the large petal is symbolized by a DP. So the best way for me to describe it is the LL and the LPs, you're going to hold it like a U or a ditch. So when I say U, I want you to hold it, the bead, like a U. Let me see, like that. See, a U. And you got to go from right to left, okay? And the way you do the small lily petal, it's harder to see because it's so small. But it's the same thing. Let's see if I can get it. It's a U, okay? See, and you're going from right to left, okay? A U. Now, that's when you see LL or LP. When you see the other one, you're going to hold it like a hill or an N. It's the DL and DP. So you're going to hold it like an N, and you're going to go again from right to left. And if you threaded these without reading directions, you'll basically learn with trial and error, because you'll see it won't come out right. So see how it looks like a hill, or more, it's, you can tell in the other one better, but it's definitely curved. Oh, let me get the right curve, like that, okay? So that's a hill, and then this way is a hill. Curve like that. And you're gonna go from right to left again. So that's a hill. Okay, so this would be, the large petal would be, it would be done like a hill like this if it was DP. And then if it was DL, then it will be the small lily petal. Let me see. All right. So I hope that makes sense. The other little thing I wanted to say, yeah, you've got your pip beads. They'll go on fine. The other one, okay, your drop beads, once in a while the hole wants to fight you going through, but definitely use liquid bead fix to stiffen your cord ends, because it doesn't add any extra width to your cord. Go ahead and get the cords wet, and after about 5 minutes or even less, I mean, you can pick the beads up like this practically. Well, it's a little harder because these are so tiny, but this is a 3mm Toho Magatama, which has a tiny hole, and it just goes right on. It definitely does help if you snip your cord in at an angle after it's dry. Wait till it's dry for sure. And they go on pretty easy. Now with your button beads, this is a helpful hint. Okay, sometimes when you go to stick it through, it doesn't want to come out the other side, and it can fray your cord. So don't force it, okay? A lot of times it's enough to just turn it onto the opposite side and then try to go through, and just from putting it in the other side first, it like pushed it down and it just goes right through. Or if you don't even want to take a chance with your cord fraying at all, I would recommend getting like a bead reamer, or I use this dental tool, and just go ahead and stick it in, and it will open up the little buttonhole space, and then it will definitely go right through. Okay, so these are the little button beads. Those are the focal. And I think that's about it for advice for this pattern. If you have any major questions, I will be doing a class on this, so just go to beadrunway.com and possibly see something on there. Or you can contact me through my email at cindy.grayson@live.com.